Choosing the right niche is going to be the reason why your channel fails or why your channel wins. And I always say, what you do before you even start your channel is more important than anything else you're going to do on YouTube. It's more important than the videos you're going to post, than your channel name, than all of these things. What you do before your channel is going to always be the most important thing. So after watching this video, you will exactly understand what is the most important thing on YouTube, or the most important thing that nobody really speaks about. Then how does a good niche actually look like, how to find a good niche, and my secret niche research method. Now, this took me quite a while to kind of put together, so make sure to watch this whole video and then you'll know everything about choosing a niche. Now, for the people who don't know me, I'm Stefan, 23 years old, currently making around about $30,000 to $40,000 a month, and constantly, starting new channels. Then I've had just 2 videos that made me over 42K. Then here I've built a channel from literally 0 to 48K in like 30 days. And then I've, helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. For example, here Martins, who've helped to make $31,000 in one single month. Here my camera just got like an issue, so now it's good to go. By the way, my videos are completely uncut, so if you cannot handle uncut videos, this channel is not for you. Now, I would say let's get started with the whole video. Now, as I've already said, I always say, like, the work you put in before even starting your channel is going to determine if your channel wins or fails. Now, don't make the exact same mistake like anyone else or like everyone else and just jump into a random niche. What most people do is they want to go into health and just jump into a random health niche, or even here motivation. Some people jump into random motivation channels, or here like random luxury channels, right? Or here, for example, the make money online or the finance niche is also massive. People just jump into it before even doing any kind of research into that niche. And this is exactly why most people fail, right? Now, there's a specific mindset I need you to adopt when you do niche research. And it will, like, the whole strategies and everything I'm going to show you, especially on this channel, is only going to work if you adapt this mindset. So first of all, niches are opportunities. So sometimes there will be more niches and sometimes there will be less niches. It is just part of the game, all right? Very important. Then don't overthink the whole niche research and don't try to find the perfect niche, because if you're going to try to find the perfect niche, you are going to struggle with niche research. It's going to take you very, very long until you actually find that one niche that you can actually then go into. A perfect niche, very difficult to find. So don't be too perfectionistic, all right? Then it will take time to find a good niche, and this is where consistency comes in. Very simple. I need you to do 1 to 2 hours, if possible, a day of niche research. Now, if you can only do like 30 minutes or something, that's completely fine. In my opinion, every single person on this planet has at least 30 minutes to do at least some kind of niche research. Then give it time, don't rush it. Like, give yourself enough time, like 2 weeks or something, to really find a good one, and then you're good to go. And then treat YouTube like a business, all right? This is very important when it comes to, looking for niches, because as I've already said, most people don't take this step serious, and that's why their channels are failing. So treat YouTube like a business, not as a random YouTube channel. So if you look for niches as an example, think about it like, hey, would I open a restaurant in this niche and, for example, invest $100,000 into it, right? That's what you need to do. So that's also the way you need to think, all right? Don't treat it like a random YouTube channel. You have to be serious about it, all right? Now, the most important thing on YouTube, right, that nobody speaks about is, supply and demand. This is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation. And this is something that nobody on YouTube speaks about, right? Now, you have to see YouTube like a marketplace. And just like any other market, YouTube has supply and YouTube has demand. These 2 factors, or these 2 things, are the most important thing on your YouTube journey. This is the only reason why I'm able to grow faceless YouTube channels, and all of my students are able to grow faceless YouTube channels, because we understand this concept, and it took me very long to understand it, all right? Now, what does this actually mean? Very easy. Demand is what the audience actually wants to watch, and supply is how much content is there already. Now we have one very, very big benefit over most people, because what normal YouTubers do, just as an example, and this is what some of you guys also try to do, is they take years to build their personal brands, right? If you go into the health niche, you take years to build a channel, right? Spend years building a connection with their audience, and it takes a lot of time and hard work to actually build demand around them. So if there's already a bunch of supply, like, it's going to be very, very difficult, because now all of a sudden you actually have to get people specifically interested in your channel, right? Now, luckily with YouTube automation, if we know about the whole supply and demand and all of these things, we skip this whole process. Instead, what we do, we look for a topic or niche that has a lot of demand, but no supply, and we enter that. Now, that's very, very easy. Now we have specific niche criteria to kind of identify demand. So just as demand. Just as an example, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in this niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply. Like I said, if you skip this and you don't implement these kind of things, you will not succeed. You will not see success with YouTube. There are no smaller channel, or there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. There are no smaller channels failing. The niche is not older than 6 months. I can create better content than my competitors. Now, this could also just be longer content, all right? Still, quality has to at least match your competitor channels. Then, am I actually interested in this niche? This is not a must. As long as you build a team that actually has interest in that specific niche, then is the niche monetizable? Otherwise, you cannot make any money. Then, huge bonus if you can actually post long videos. Now, very important, this does not need to be 100% with all niches you find, as I've already explained. Like, you do not want to be perfectionistic when you do niche research. It's better to, just go ahead and start the channel and learn from there, okay? Now, tools I would highly recommend for niche research is NextLev. I'll link it in the video description, and vidIQ. NextLev is like 13 euros a month, and vidIQ is completely free. Now, you will need this to kind of speed up your niche research, especially if you use the dummy account method. Now, this is one of my favorite ways to do niche research. Not many people speak about this, but this is basically a YouTube account that you only use for niche research. And I'll show you in a second how to set it up, how to use it, all of these things. The YouTube homepage changed for our advantage. Now, YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we want to watch, and we can actually use this to our advantage to train YouTube, like the whole YouTube algorithm, to only show us faceless niches on our YouTube home tab, which is extremely powerful. So instead of me explaining everything, let me actually quickly show you how to do all of this. Now, very important to note, once the dummy account is actually set up, you can find endless niches with it. Now, this here is exactly how my dummy account looks like. As you guys can see, a bunch of faceless channels on my homepage, and many of them, like for example this one right here, I don't even know this channel, right? So it's the first time YouTube is actually showing me this channel, and here we can see this channel is doing 1.2 million views in 7 days. All right, now how do you set an account up like this? So firstly, you don't need to go to incognito, but what you do is you create a YouTube account which you only use for niche research. So just imagine that I am actually logged into an account here. I'll just very quickly show you how to optimize it, and then I'll show you how the account looks like. So what you do is anything you're interested in. So for example, the biggest houses. Now this could also, just as an example, this could also be history. This can be anything you're interested in. And if you specifically want to go for one specific niche, then only stay in that niche and kind of warm the account up or optimize the account in that niche, all right? So we have, for example, here, this account right here. Then we will click on this video here. We can see this video is faceless. We'll click on this video, and we'll watch this video for like around about 30 seconds. I'm not going to watch the whole video 30 seconds now, but then you subscribe, you can also comment under the video. And then on the sidebar, you can already start going on to the next channel. So let's have a look. We're now looking for a faceless channel. Like for example, let me have a look. Like for example here, Map Pack, just as an example. So this one has 400,000 subscribers. Let's look at this one, True Earth. Here, this one already has 1,500 subscribers. So you can also already do niche research here in the suggested bar, which is also very, very powerful because YouTube will constantly give you new channels here the whole time. Here, Science Revealed, 15,000 subscribers, 1.1 million views. If we go down, let's look for some other here. Wild Horizons, also same thing, 28,000 views, 400,000 at 28,000 subscribers, 400,000 views. And then if we continue doing this like for a little bit and we then go to our YouTube homepage, might not be fully yet, but already faceless video. Okay, this one is not faceless, but faceless. All these videos are just faceless. So now YouTube is actually going to push new channels that you don't even know yet to your YouTube homepage. And the more you actually use this exact way of doing niche research, the more YouTube is going to start pushing small channels to your YouTube homepage, exactly like on mine. So what we can do now is, and this is why I say you need Nextlev, because here now we can already see the subscribers of this channel. We can also see this channel got like 100,000 views. So then we'll have a look at this channel. So here we can see 13 videos, 5,000 subscribers. This channel is not monetized yet because it doesn't have the channel history yet, which takes around about 2 weeks, but it could already apply for monetization. All right. But here is now again a channel that I didn't know that is doing very well. All right. And which I could also do. Now I already subscribed to this channel. Now I can go on to the next one. So let's say, for example, this channel here, just as an example, 42 videos, 18,000 subscribers. Now with Nextlev, you can very quickly see how many views is this channel actually getting every single week to be able to kind of calculate like, hey, would it even make sense financially to go into this niche, or would it not make sense, right? Then you have Nextlev, with which you can actually do a little bit of a deeper review, or kind of with which you can analyze it a little bit deeper. All right. So this is loading now. While this is loading, guys, if you guys want to kind of skip this whole trial and error, check out the first link in the video description. Book a completely free one-on-one call with me, and we'll have a look how we can work together. But yeah, Nextlev will, by the way, also be linked in the video description with like a 20% discount code. But this is very powerful if you kind of want to know what the RPM is, how many views this channel is getting a month, how much money this channel is making a month, all of these things. So here we can see it only has a $2 RPM, getting 3 million views a month, and has made $8,200 in the last 30 days. Now, something you can also do with Nextlev is, for example, here similar channels, then in-depth search, and it will search for all of the channels in that specific niche, which again is very powerful because this will save us a bunch of time when we're doing niche research. But not only that, it will find us a bunch of channels in like sub niches as well, which is extremely powerful. Just as an example here, 20 videos, 3,000 subscribers, 90,000 views in the last 7 days. Didn't know this channel. So the dummy account, like to do niche research on a dummy account like this one, is always going to be very, very powerful. And this is something I would highly, highly recommend to you guys. All right. Then I have another way of kind of doing niche research, or to find a niche. And this is using the niche transfer method. This is one of the most powerful ways at this current moment. So instead of blindly copying something everyone is doing, we use the niche transfer method to like literally 1,000x our results. Okay. Now, this is essentially taking like proven concepts and moving them to completely different markets on YouTube. Now, this can literally be anything: the title, the thumbnail style, the video style, anything that is working. So all we're looking for is something that's working, and we move that specific thing to a different market on YouTube. So if we look at, just as an example here, this medieval discovered channel, right? Here, this before fire. If you look at here, pirates on TV, off-grid solutions, you guys can open up all of these channels. Even by looking at them exactly like this, we can see everything is very similar. Like the thumbnails are very similar, the titles are very similar. Now, why this is like that is very simple. This channel here was, or did exist first. And what these guys here very simply did is they thought like, hey, how can I take this concept from the medieval people, or from the medieval people, and move it, for example, here to cavemen, or even here to, just as an example, pirates, or here someone did it for homeless people. So if you think a little bit outside of the box at this current moment, YouTube will reward you insanely for that. Okay, this is the most insane way of kind of choosing a niche. Now, something I have to say with choosing a niche like this, it's always going to be a 50-50, right? But the reward can be massive if a specific channel works, because you will be the first one. And the first person in that specific niche will always get the most amount of views. Very important to understand, all right? Then a very underrated thing that not many people are doing is doing niches in other languages, all right? This is a game changer for many people that don't even, many people don't even know that you can do this, all right? But this is probably the easiest way of getting your first channel off the ground and starting to make some money ASAP, all right? Simply go ahead and whatever works in English, move it to a different language, all right? Now, this sounds pretty weird, but guys, in the end of the day, we're here to make money, right? So yeah. Now, due to AI, we can start channels in other languages with absolutely no problem without even speaking the language. Now, in case you are already running a channel, it must be, or it is a must to translate those videos to other languages. And this will more than double your revenue without much extra work. Now, here are a few examples. So here we can see, for example, Der Kommandant Español, then I don't know what language this is, Ukraine, then here French. So this is doing very, 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 very well, right? Now, moving niches to, other languages is something that has worked very well for one of our students. For example, Iria, who literally went from $0 making with no experience to making $4,000 in her second month, all right? Now, I have an interview on this channel, where she kind of goes over all of this. Now, what I also have is a completely free course, it's a 5-hour video course about YouTube and how to actually implement it, because if you have a niche, you still have to implement everything, right? You will find it here in the middle of the screen. You can just click on it, and there you will also see the whole interview with Iria, where, we go deeper into all of the niches and all of these things. Very interesting, and I'll see you over there.